This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
Over the weekend, something big happened. Richard Branson and a crew of 3 others grazed the edge of space in a rocket built by the British billionaire's company. Now, it aims to begin launching customers in 2022. This is why this is such a big deal, is it's the first time you've been able to, pay to go to space or the edge of space.
It's strange to me how this is eventually going to be normalized, just like how flying in an airplane is now. Whereas think of the first time that happened with passengers.
Right.
Mind-blowing.
You're like, what? They what? They what?
It's going to take me where? And how long?
Back then, there'd be no video proof, really. You wouldn't have saw it on social, so you just wouldn't believe it. You'd be like, no, not until I see it. And then a few years later.
Crazy to think about.
But yeah, here's the thing. $250,000 for a seat is what the expected cost is going to be once this happens.
Not relatable.
Imagine if the conditions weren't good the day you went up.
Are they going to have seat sales?
I don't know. I would be so pissed if I got up there. It's you can't really see what's going on. Super cloudy. And I think you'd be above the clouds, but still.
For sure you'd be above the clouds.
Well, what if they're really high clouds?
There's no clouds in space.
On the edge of space, there might be. What if it's foggy? What if it's super cloud cover everywhere below? So you're just looking at a white blanket down below you. I'd be so mad if I paid that much.
Yeah, but you'd be far out enough in space that you'd see more than just one area that has cloud coverage.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I'm just thinking, if I pay, $300 for really good seats at a sports game or something like that, and then I go and it's a blowout and the team I'm hoping for loses, which has been the case over the last decade. A lot of the times I've gone to watch the Oilers.
That's the difference between you and a billionaire. You're upset over $300.
Well,
They wipe their ass with that.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if I paid $250,000 for something,
right,
and it didn't turn out to be perfect, what if you didn't like the in-flight meal? But you're I paid $250,000.
What do you think the in-flight meal is?
Well, I don't know.
Just floating lobster?
I would imagine they just feed you well before the flight takes off because they wouldn't want anybody to have tummy grumbles for getting shot into space.
Your throw up, though, if you were too full.
Yeah.
And you got rocket sick.
That's a different kind of sick.
That's a different league of sick.
It's like you're on a boat.
It's car sick times 4,000.
Seasickness is a different kind of sick.
Oh,
this is even worse, I've heard.
You've heard?
Yeah.
Who are your billionaire friends? Because I want to hang out with them.
Here's what they need to do is make, like you said, it's not real relatable. Most people are nowhere near even in the ballpark to think about paying $250,000 for an experience. They should give one away. They should have a contest.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
Of who really wants to go to space but can't afford it?
Hey, your tax dollars went towards building this, so sure, we'll give it to one human.
Yeah.
One single person.
I think that's a good idea. Anyway, congratulations, I guess, on kind of going to space with the billionaire guy.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos is pissed. He's probably I don't want to do it anywhere. I'm over it. Every year, they try to find internationally the best bartender.
In the world.
In the world.
I wasn't even the best bartender at Kelsey's in Lloydminster when I worked there.
I was pretty good at Hudson's. Definitely not the best, though. But the winners in the past have been from major cities like Tokyo, Paris, London, Chicago. Well, guess what?
No.
Edmonton has now been added to that list.
Really?
His name is James Grant. He's an Edmonton bartender. This year, because of COVID, they did have to do it virtually, but even the judges watching him on screen were blown away. So he's sitting there waiting to see whose name is announced from London, England. James Grant from Edmonton is now the world's best bartender, at least for now, until he gets to be a judge next year and travel the world to try out other people's creations.
Oh, man, that's a job.
Isn't that fascinating? He said, I never thought that just because I can pour drinks well, it would make me that much cooler. Like, you get to travel the world, James.
Yeah, we need to get him in here and try some of his drinks.
I think it's one of those things where you watch someone like that pour a drink and it's mesmerizing.
Right.
They're
yeah.
that good
it's
at it.
It's an art, for sure. Awesome. Well, congratulations to James Grant.
He was a bartender. If you're wondering where he works or worked, I don't know if he's going to continue working there. Little Hong Kong in the Mercer warehouse.
Tell me something good.
My story is about rainforests. Indonesia holds 1/3 of the world's tropical rainforests. It's home to people, birds, leopards, rhinos, tigers, and a bunch of very lush plants. With recent protections that they put into place, they're thriving. So they haven't seen the rainforests this, I guess,
wet,
luscious and effective for creating air in over 30 years. But it's all credit is going towards the recent protections that were put into place.
I bet those birds and lions and tigers and bears, or whatever you said, I bet they all have the best skin.
Yeah.
I bet they're glowy.
Especially right now. Hot animal summer.
Tell me something good.
What's the strangest thing you've seen lately? And this after The Rock witnessed something pretty wild and posted on his Instagram about it. I'll let him explain.
Right outside my kitchen door is a big, beautiful hawk who got his talons on a hell of a snake. I don't know if you guys can see that snake tail there. Oh, there we go. He started with the head of the snake, which is always smart to do. But the problem is I got to go to the gym. There you go. And I have to walk down these stairs to get to the gym. That's the only way. And he's here. So we got a little problem. Oh, no, he's going for the tail now. I don't blame you. Get that tail. I like tail too as well. So the problem here is I got to get to the gym. So it's either my workout or his snake. We're going to see what gives here in a second. Wish me luck. If y'all don't hear from me in a few hours, well, you know I got my ass kicked by a hawk.
He's so likable.
I know, he's the best. I feel like he can take a day off, though.
Right. Yeah.
You'll be okay, Dwayne.
This is a sign that you might want to relax today.
I have a friend in Toronto that walks to work, and there's a house that she always posts about on Instagram. And it's got, I'm not kidding, probably 500 creepy dolls that are just laid out on the front lawn. Like, that's their decor.
Yeah, I thought the people that live somewhat near our house that have the garden in the front yard was strange. I can't imagine, like, that one at least makes sense. They're growing food. This, just dolls.
Just dolls, like creepy old haunted dolls.
And you'd be worried that people would steal them, but then you're like, nah,
No.
they wouldn't mess with that.
No, they're that terrifying. So that's one of the strangest things that I've seen, because I thought it was a joke at first. I thought it was maybe like a place where people can go and visit. It was like funny. No, it's somebody who literally lives there, and that's what they chose to do with their front lawn.
Rick says, my buddy accidentally dropped a beer bottle from my 9th floor balcony. It bounced and didn't break. That's the strangest thing I've seen lately.
Okay, when we were golfing at the Garrison on Saturday, my ball went directly in the water, but it bounced out onto the green.
So it skipped?
It
Like
skipped.
a rock? Yeah, that can happen.
Is that a thing that happened? That's a normal thing at golf?
Yeah, John Ram, actually, one of the PGA players, was able to skip his ball a couple times and then got a hole-in-one from it.
No.
Yeah, you need to watch the video. It's insane.
Another weird thing that I saw recently, this person on TikTok, it's their first and only video, 4 million views. I love when that happens. And it was them filming a kiddie pool that was flying around in their backyard, but it had no water in it, obviously, but there wasn't a lot of wind. And it went up like past the clouds in the sky. And all they hashtagged was UFO. It was that eerie.
Interesting.
Where is it going and why?
This text says, I saw a squirrel wearing a leaf cape once.
No.
I think of it often. So a leaf must have just got caught on its back. But cute little super squirrel.
On Play 107.
What do you own that is surprisingly expensive? There's a new record holder for most expensive video game ever sold. So a couple days ago, The Legends of Zelda, a rare sealed copy of the game, went for $870,000.
Oh, wow.
But then a pristine unopened copy of Super Mario 64 just sold yesterday for $1.56 million.
What about Tony Hawk Pro Skater
I don't know.
2 specifically?
No word on how much that will get you on the market, but your version that you keep trying to sell for like $50 online is opened and scratched. So probably not going to get what you think you should for it. I just picture like every kid who got Super Mario 64, every adult now, having a flashback of how excited they were at Christmas opening that and now realizing how much that actually cost you. Because if you would have just had...
Kept it closed. See, It was the same thing whenever my mom would get my sister, specifically the collective Barbie, the ones in the huge fancy dresses, and she'd be like, you can't open that. Well, what's the point?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? What are we waiting for?
Like, for a kid, that's not fun.
No.
They don't understand that it could be worth a lot of money someday. I tried to buy Beanie Babies in hopes.
we all tried that.
Yeah, none of them are worth anything.
Well, the Princess Di one is.
Oh, I'm not saying not like a lot of those Beanie Babies are worth.
Oh, you mean yours specifically?
The collection I got, nothing.
Yep, same.
The only thing I have that like it could even be discussed in this conversation is a Henri Richard rookie card,
Who's that?
the Pocket Rocket.
Excuse my ignorance.
Well, he was a pretty big deal in like the 50s in the NHL, but
Okay.
he wasn't even the best brother. His brother, Rocket Richard, if I had his rookie, that's big money. But the Pocket Rocket rookie's pretty decent. Like, I think I could probably get $350 for it somewhere around there.
I have a pocket rocket too.
780-784-7107.
Just kidding.
What's up?
So it's not an insane amount of money, but literally yesterday I went to Value Village with my son and I bought him one of the Thomas characters' Stepney. It's a Trackmaster train.
Okay.
And we paid $5 and it's worth $100.
What?
So like new, it's worth $100?
Secondhand, it's worth $100.
What?
Yeah.
What a find.
They don't make them anymore.
Yeah. Now, do you break your kid's heart and be like, just kidding, you didn't get that toy?
Listen up. We're going to sit down and have a serious conversation. Mommy needs this more than you do.
I'll give you $50 if you're cool with me selling this thing.
Josh wrote in saying, morning, you beauties. My brother has a Funko Pop collection worth about $82,000.
I was over at a guy's house once and he's like, you want to see some sports cards? We go downstairs and like he had a lock on the room. Open it up and the entire room was dedicated to it. He said like he figures he has upwards of $400,000 worth of sports cards. And he's just constantly selling it. Like as soon as a player gets like a hat trick, let's say, the price of their card goes up, he'll sell. And like
Right.
every time a player has like a injury or a bad game, their card worth drops, and that's when he'll buy.
Am I the only one that doesn't own anything expensive? I can't be the only one.
Yeah, like you were trying to go through what you own, and
Nothing.
there's nothing that's worth anything, eh?
Like even when it comes to home insurance, they're like, is there something that you'd... I'm like, no. There's literally nothing. I don't even have a designer purse.
Right.
I'm just not into that though. So I don't think it's me missing out on anything.
Like, do you think if you had, let's say, a $2,000 purse, you would even want to use it?
There's just so much crap that I throw in my purse. People look down on me that also have high-end purses. They'd be
Right.
like, oh, really? You got 6 cheeseburger wrappers in there? When's the last time you cleaned that thing? I'm like, I don't even know. Like, can you clean a purse?
Fair enough. 780-784-7107. This says, I have a ring in my possession that was passed down from a few generations. Apparently, it's worth roughly $10,000.
Can you find out? I want answers. And are you willing to sell it? Because, or do you care more about the fact that it's generations worth of...
We have some property that eventually will be mine in Saskatchewan, like a farm. Mm-hmm. And I can't imagine selling it just because it's been in the family for generations.
I should start. I should give one of my nieces, something that's not even worth a lot of money, and I'll be like,
just pretend
you
it's
keep
worth-
this for generations.
That's awful.
I have a $300 Charizard Pokemon card. I bought it at Walmart in a pack with like a bunch of others for $60.
Okay, but RJ, can we hear your voice?
Charizard. I don't know, what are you talking
Come
about?
on, you can do better than that.
Charizard.
That was actually a trick question, though.
It was.
Because Charizard doesn't even say his name in the show.
No, but Charmander does.
Right.
So I get the confusion. Charizard's the one that makes the rawr noise. Just
Which
so
is-
you know, for when you're selling that, you
Right.
should probably know.
In case the buyer asks, like, the only way I'm doing this deal.
Is this legit?
Play 107.
A very funny video is circulating from TikToker Jake Cornell, who really likes overhearing public arguments between couples and actually has some like tips on how to make it a fun experience for everyone, including if you're just sitting nearby. He said he likes to have his headphones turned all the way down but in.
Yeah,
So-
he has his AirPods in.
so they think he's not listening and he can get nice and close and actually catch the argument. Here are his tips.
In general, I have a lot of thoughts on how to make it a good experience for everyone involved. The most important one I would say is if there's a man involved, you as the man feel free to look confused or tired or bummed, but never angry. The second you get angry, it's absolutely not fun for anyone. It does get a little scary. Also, if both parties involved could avoid any use of pronouns, I want proper nouns. I want names, I want events, I want places, I want timestamps, because I need to pick a side, so I need all the information available. And then the third thing, this is specific, but if one of you can be eating food, it adds such a texture to it. Like one time I was in an Uber pool with a gay couple that was arguing, and one of them was eating a bodega sandwich, and he was just covered in mayo, and it was the best day of my life.
I'm with this guy. I love the awkwardness of watching arguments in public.
Yeah, I used to live behind a really popular smoke pit of a bar. Mm-hmm. And the conversations I'd hear from my patio were great. It was
Yeah.
better than any trash reality TV show out
So you
there.
just go sit on the balcony,
Not even.
pour a margarita, and watch the drama unfold.
I could hear it from my bedroom too,
just
and I'd be
open
like,
the
"All right,
window.
it's another Saturday night."
You ever chime in and let the person know, hey, you're being a little bit,
No,
you show whose side you're on?
no, it was great.
Any other tips for public arguments? Feel free to get at us with your thoughts.
Yeah, and it feels like a lot of people have less patience over the past year. Like if there's things about someone in your life that bug you, especially from being around each other a lot more than
Yeah.
usual, you're going to be snapping in public and no masks on. We can read your lips from afar.
Well, you were even saying you have a friend of a friend who's a divorce lawyer, and they're busier than they've ever been before.
They've busier than ever to the point where it's mind blowing.
How many people are like, nope, done
Not
with
for
this?
me.
So yes, as we open up the world, expect to see more public arguments. Woohoo!
Play 107.
People are headed back to the office in droves. You know what? Selfishly, love it.
Love it.
Because we're getting so many more texts and calls now, and the interaction really does fuel us. If you're ever like,
I don't know if I should text them. I don't know if they'll care about this. Yes.
Do it.
We care.
We love it.
We need you to. You are our caffeine.
So like I said, selfishly, I'm all about everybody getting back to the office, but most not the case.
Well, I think it depends on your work environment. I really do. There's going to be a lot of epiphanies, I think, for people that don't necessarily enjoy their office space.
And have gotten a lot of freedom. Like, you wear what you want. You pet your dog when you want.
You get to actually hang out with your pet all day. That's awesome.
take your lunch break when you want. You're saving money by doing so and not going out to the restaurant by your workplace. I could see that the transition back is going to be tricky for people.
Gas money as well.
I wonder if they could ease into it. Like maybe, come back for 3 days a week, work from home for 2 for the next month or 2, get used to getting your feet back in it.
If you're a boss, that would be a smart move to keep your employees happy.
I think that would be a fair thing to do. But eventually we got to get back, right?
Yeah, why?
Well,
Why?
because I know me and I know you, and if we got to work from home, we'd be mailing it in. You mail it in. I think a lot of people. What do you call it?
mail it in at work too. The amount of fake bathroom breaks people take.
Just to go sit and scroll on their phone?
Exactly. Instead of doing that, walk your dog. You're exhausted, staring at your screen for a bit. Go take a break, eat some chips, standing
Right.
over your sink, and then get back to work.
I don't know. If I was an employer, I would want my people back that I'm paying. I guess I just need to see people working if I'm paying them. And that might be an old school way of thinking.
I'd say so, yeah.
I just would have a rough time justifying paying somebody a nice wage if they were just at home all the time in pajamas.
Okay, so serious question. Is there anyone listening right now that can give us a reason as to why you're so excited to get back to the office, or there's something there that is encouraging you? Like maybe your work coffee?
A low-key, like, office romance that you're ready to ignite again.
Anything of that sort. I want to hear the positive side.
Okay, I like
of going
this.
back to work, because I do think in my mind that everyone doesn't want to, but that's probably not true.
No, I think I'm like the social people would want to get back. Even they think they want to get back, then like halfway through the first day, they're like, ugh, why was I waiting for this? You are excited to get back to work, Jen.
Yes, very excited.
And why is that?
When I went into lockdown, like many did, I was severely pregnant, and so most people didn't get to see me get big or enjoy that I was getting pregnant. And then most people didn't get to see my newborn when we were at the hospital. And now that COVID is finally letting up and we can actually see the light of day, he's a year.
Right.
Right.
I thought that my first mat leave was hard, but this one, with COVID, my first one was a dream.
So just excited to get back to like conversations with adults, because
Instead of kids.
It's just been baby central, hey?
All it is COVID this, COVID that, diaper change this, baby rash that. Like, give me something else. Can I please talk to somebody about something? Like,
Right.
I'm not even a girly girl, and I will sit and talk with somebody about gel nails, for heaven's sake. Like, I want to be back at the water cooler having the awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Talking about hot gossip too.
Yeah.
Like
Right?
anything.
I am just so eager to have adult conversations. Please come back to the office and hang out with me.
Okay, have a great day. Thank you for the call, Jen.
You too. You guys do a good show. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate
Jen.
it. Yeah, we got this text too that says, I'm very excited to get back to work. I know you guys might find this surprising, but I really like cake and I like celebrating people's birthdays.
There are people that love it. There are people that don't really care for it, and there are people that hate it.
Yeah, it's a pretty polarizing event for sure.
Robin said, I know you're looking for reasons people are excited to get back to the office, but I know a reason employers are keeping staff at home. It can be cheaper for them. So some people are going to be staying at home permanently.
Yeah,
So you're
that's
not
fair.
going to have to deal with the birthday cakes.
James also made a good point and said that, like, it depends on your living accommodations. Like, if you have
yeah.
a backyard and some space, working from home might have been okay. Whereas a lot of people,
Dude, in that 36-degree weather with no air conditioning, you'd
know-
be like, I wish I was back in my
Yeah.
office space.
totally, like a one-bedroom place where you're starting to feel a little claustrophobic. So welcome back to work.
107.
So we were talking about, like, why are you excited to get back to work? And this text that we got from Maddie, I think, is going to lead us in a different direction, but that's what she was talking about. It says, knowing your teenage hormonal daughters, 3 of them, can and will eat out your house of groceries is hard in itself, but actually working from home and seeing it makes it so much worse.
Because it's so expensive, and you're like, really? You're already done all of these crackers? You've already eaten all of these apples? Like, what?
Yeah, like even my grocery bill now that my daughter is like eating, and not like just a kid who's grazing, she actually will eat and eat and eat, is crazy. You just watch the dollars float into the sky. But yeah, no, we thought that was pretty funny. Groceries are so expensive right now.
They've always been expensive. Like, I remember going to the grocery store with my mom. So obviously I was quite young. And in the checkout, she's like, I can't believe this is $200. And that was when I was young.
Right.
So it's still bad.
But that,
if not worse.
those same groceries now would be $4.50.
Right. No,
Like-
you're totally right.
I was talking with my mom about it, and she's like, I don't know how young people are able to make a go of it right now. With everything, gas being so expensive, housing prices being so expensive,
They're eating-
groceries going up.
It's just Itchy Bad and Katie.
Yeah, it's a tough time.
It's so hard. And that's why our parents would get so mad at us. Like both my parents hustled. They worked really hard to raise us 3 daughters in our bungalow, and like our vacations were like driving to BC to camp and stuff like that. So when my mom would buy a 4-liter of chocolate milk and we would drink it before bedtime that day.
Right.
Like, no wonder she was mad.
Yeah.
She's like, chill out.
Well, it's the simple mistakes I get mad at myself now for. If I have food that I let go bad in the fridge, I'm so rattled at myself for letting that happen. So
You're really good at eating leftovers, though.
I like to think that I like eating leftovers for the flavor, but there's also something fulfilling for me, and you might be able to tell that by my weight, from making sure I don't waste food. And yesterday I ordered a salad with my butter chicken, and it came and it was just cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, and a slice of lemon. And I was like, what the hell was I thinking? I have cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, and lemon in my house. Why did I need to order this?
Also, where's the lettuce?
Yeah, it was
the dressing.
It was a strange salad for sure. A little boring, to be honest. It's Play 107. Good morning.
Okay, so me and my wife, we have 3 children. We share a house with my sister-in-law and her husband. They have 5 kids. There are 8 kids in our house.
Oh,
What?
my God.
I just texted my wife. I said, Ryder and Lisa have an interesting topic. What did we spend on groceries last month? She sent 3,500 plus is what her response was.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Have you thought about a vasectomy?
Yes, I have.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.